So Sports Illustrated has 6 potential pitfalls for the 2021 season for the Browns. First one, and tell me if you think these are likely or not likely. Odell Beckham Jr. doesn't work out.
Unlikely. I just don't see how that could even be possible. He's so talented. And even last year, when you look at that Dallas game, he just put the team on his back and scored 3 touchdowns in that game, including the game clincher. So I just don't see that happening. I think that he and Baker will flourish together this season. The only thing that Odell probably won't get is as many opportunities as he's going to want, because he's ready to run through a wall right now. And there are just so many players on this football team that deserve an opportunity to get the ball a lot, that it's just going to be hard to emphasize one guy every single week.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things is winning cures that a lot with players like Odell. If wins are what matter most, I believe. All right, tight ends don't produce enough relative to the rest of the offense. Is that a concern?
Well, I do think that, once again, Austin Hooper and Baker Mayfield will fare better together this year. I think there was an adjustment period last year. I think Austin Hooper is one of those players like Odell Beckham Jr., who spent the first part of his career with one quarterback, and then it was a little bit hard to adjust to the speed of the ball coming in and to all the other nuances between a quarterback and his receiver. So I think that Austin Hooper will be better this year with Baker, and I also think that Harrison Bryant will take a step up in his second season. And then David Njoku was not bought in at this time last year. He still had one foot out the door at this time last season, and he just didn't really want to be here. And that continued on through the year, all the way through the trading deadline. Then when it became apparent that obviously he wasn't going anywhere, he did the best he could to leave it all out on the field and give everything that he had. And I thought he had a really nice game against the Kansas City Chiefs. One of the few offensive guys that really was able to stand out in that game and make a difference. So if that's the David Njoku that you're going to get from the start this year, then I think that's important, because I think he's a really good football player. And if he has a chance to show it and gets his opportunities, I think he can make some noise.
So number 3 on this list, the pass rush doesn't deliver.
Again, you can write down anything that you want, but really, realistically, I don't see how the pass rush is not going to deliver when you have one of the best pass rushers in the NFL in Myles Garrett, and now you are complementing him not only with Jadeveon Clowney and Tack on the other side, but you've got Malik Jackson on the inside, who's also going to get some good pressure. So I just don't see how that's not going to happen, especially because, as I mentioned, they will be letting those guys eat. They're going to have them just attacking and going for it. And I think Myles is just going to play with his hair on fire.
Yeah, and the other thing is with the defensive linemen, there's so many potential guys that could step up. Somebody's going to come out of nowhere and have a really good season. One of the guys that we've talked about, that they brought in, that always happens. Number 4 on this list, linebacker issue not resolved.
Well, first of all, the linebacking core in this defense doesn't necessarily have to be the strength of the defense. And it probably won't be the strength of the defense this season. Once again, we're not even sure how many linebackers are going to play throughout the football game. There could be 2 linebackers on the field a lot of the time when you are in your sub packages. So I don't think they're asking the linebackers to go out and rule the world. I think that they just need them to be a lot better than they were last year. And in a perfect world, if you can get JOK to be forcing some fumbles and to be doing some things in that sort of hybrid role where he's covering tight ends and, rushing the quarterback and tackling and all the different things that he's slated to do, then they'll be happy with the linebacking core.
Yeah, I think that's kind of more is made of that from a national perspective as far as the linebacking core. I think the local folks kind of realize it's going to be something that isn't really a focus of the defense. 5, corners other than Denzel Ward struggle. Is that a concern?
No, I don't think so. Greg Newsome, I mean, as a rookie, maybe he'll have some of his growing pains. But Troy Hill, the slot corner, he's a really good, savvy veteran. And then you've got Greedy Williams. As long as Greedy's healthy, I think he will play better than he did in his rookie year. He's worked really, really hard to come back from and rebound from this injury, and also from a little bit of a shaky rookie year. So I think he'll be a lot better, just from a cerebral standpoint. He's studied the game. He studies film. He's working really hard at it. So no, I don't see that happening.
And the last one on this list, they say Baker Mayfield struggles. Just your reaction to that.
Once again, when you have arguably one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, you've got arguably one of the best tight end cores, running backs, wide receiver rooms. I think, and now a defense that complements him and should be giving him the ball back in really good, favorable territory a lot. I think it would be hard not to succeed, especially, once again, as we mentioned, with this coaching staff and the play calling and the way that they will put these guys in position to excel. The other thing is, some of it is going to depend on the level of competition. The Browns don't even know if Aaron Rodgers is going to be playing against them in that Green Bay game. They don't even know if Deshaun Watson is going to be the quarterback for the Houston Texans. So some of it is the level of competition that you're playing. And those are two games right there that you can look at and say, those two games might not be what you originally thought they could be.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Baker Mayfield's going to end up having a pretty big season.